Hello cherry lovers, welcome back to Joyce's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you a quick and simple way to make breadcrumbs. Really tasty breadcrumbs, and it will save you a lot of money. So stay tuned. Okay, as I said, this is a very quick and simple recipe, and one of the reasons that I decided to make my own breadcrumbs was a couple of times I was going to make this recipe and it called for breadcrumbs. One was just regular breadcrumbs and one was for Italian breadcrumbs, but I didn't have either. So I looked it up and I thought, wow, how simple that is. So I decided to just show you how to do a quick recipe on breadcrumbs. So Larry will hone in right here, this really simple part. You're going to need 4 ounces, which will equal about, I'd say 4 cups of breadcrumbs, and you simply break them up into pieces, and I pack them down into the cup really well. Just pack them in there and fill the cup up. And once you get done packing the breadcrumbs in there and you get yourself about 4 cups of breadcrumbs, then all you have to do is get that out, come on, and then you're going to put them in a food processor. Now I have a food processor right here, and we're just going to stuff that all in there. And once you get all of the breadcrumbs in there, you can pulse it because you don't want to do this too long, but it's not going to harm anything if you go over a little bit. So I'm just going to do it for probably about, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, I'm going to have to move that around a little bit. Let me grab a spoon or a tool. Always unplug it though. If you're going to stick something down in there, always unplug it. And just move that around a little bit. It's actually almost completely to the consistency that I want, but I'm going to do it for maybe about 10 more seconds. Tap that on. Plug that in, and let's turn it on. Okay, and it's just that simple. Now I'm going to unplug it, take that off. I'm going to take the blades out. You don't want any accidents. Set it over there and just pour that back into the bowl. Now, after I get this all in the bowl, I'm going to show you how to put it on your pan as to not get to stick or practically have no wash pans when you're done. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I've got one more tip here. If you don't have a food processor, because I have not always had a food processor, you can improvise very easily. So I got a couple of pieces of bread here, half slices, and the only thing you do is when you break up your bread, break them up in smaller pieces. You can break up a whole bunch of pieces, and once you get that all broken up, then you can go back in and break it up even smaller. So no worries if you don't have a food processor, it's absolutely okay. Again, you just go in there, and can you hone in there, Larry, so they can see this? Just break off those pieces real tiny, just tiny pieces. Yeah, it'll take you maybe a minute, minute and a half longer. But it's okay if you don't have a food processor. That's perfectly fine, perfectly okay. So you just go in there and break up those pieces. Okay, the next step here is we're going to spread out the breadcrumbs that we just took out of the food processor, kind of lay them out on this pan. And as you can see over here, it's already done. You're probably going to need a couple of pans, maybe even 3. You just spread them out. If you get some little bigger pieces, just break them up if some of them are not crumbs, and continue to spread it out. And I'm using parchment paper because it makes the cleanup easier. And you just spread that out. And make sure, I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. Preheat your oven to 300. You want to make sure your oven is preheated at 300. And just spread your breadcrumbs out. Try to do them as evenly as possible. Okay. Now, if you haven't, or if you don't have one of your racks at the center of the oven, in the middle of the oven, place your oven rack in the center of the oven. And then you're just going to take your pan, place it in the oven, right on the center rack, and you're going to turn your timer on for 5 minutes. And you're going to let that cook for 5 minutes. And after it cooks for 5 minutes, then you're going to take it out, take a spatula, which I will show you shortly, flip it over, put it back in for 2 to 3 minutes, maybe between 2 and 5, just depending on what it takes to get it to a nice light brown color. So stay tuned. Okay, this is ready. We're going to take this out. And I said 5 minutes and then 2 to 3 minutes. But what you actually do here, what we're going to do is 5 minutes, take it out, and then we're going to flip it over, stir it up, get it nice and mixed up so whatever isn't completely browned and crisp will become on the second go round brown and crisp. So you're going to put it back in on the second time for another 5 minutes. And once you take it out, we will go from there as to how long to put it in on the third time. But the second time around, you're going to do it for 5 more minutes. After you take it out, flip it over, stir it up so everything is nicely mixed. So we're going to put it back in for another 5 minutes. Okay, and we'll be back. Okay, this is ready. I'm going to take that out. And there's your breadcrumbs. Really simple and really quick, just like I said. That's already set, already done. I already put it in for the last final 2 minutes, and that's about all it took. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how many breadcrumbs you made. So that's ready. Now, I'm going to turn the oven off, and then I want to show you, really simple, really quick. I made regular breadcrumbs, but if you want to turn this into Italian breadcrumbs, just as quick, just as simple. Only thing you need, I have here in this bowl, I've mixed 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, also 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder in the same container, and then 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to mix all of that into those breadcrumbs that we just made, and then we're going to stir that up really good. Now, this will yield about 2 cups of breadcrumbs. You can use it plain or you can make it Italian. But also, if you just want to do the half of this recipe, you can do that also. Everything will be half of what you saw me put into this recipe, except for the salt. Remember, except for the salt. The salt will stay the same, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, whether you use a cup or whether you use the 2 cups, which is equal to the 4 cups of breadcrumbs. And that's all you do, guys. Really, really simple. You have Italian breadcrumbs. Without the seasoning, you have plain breadcrumbs. Thanks for watching. Also, if you'll look above, the recipe that I used this for was for the fried zucchini. I made French fries out of it. I was out of breadcrumbs, so I made up this recipe. So you will see above, there's a recipe for fried zucchini. Also, up above, there is a video that shows you how to slice the zucchini fries. Very simple, very quick. When I started trying to slice zucchini fries, they were like all over the place and all different sizes, and they didn't cook up evenly. But the video will show you exactly how to slice up your zucchini fries. So, thanks for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys, and stay safe.